of thin air. Cost you nothing. Free. Here you go. Enjoy. Enjoy your free money. Merry Christmas. There's $14 million of value sitting here. Cool. And there's 300K of liquidity. Now, I hear this like, oh, Solana's pumping. And then I go look at Solana. And then I go sort by liquidity. And there's no liquidity on anything. And I don't get it. Now, when you have really low liquidity, it means that the price can go very high with less amounts of money. But in a Uniswap V2 automated market maker where the bid and the ask are symmetrical, and this doesn't speak to anywhere else it's traded, right? Like I'm not looking at all the other places it can trade. I'm just looking online at the, what I consider to be the most trust reduced way to trade, because you can't get screwed by an exchange stealing your money. You can only get screwed by contract vulnerabilities or rug pulls or, bad PRC or ERC20s that have like inflation bugs or Miami key, stuff like that. But it is, you don't have to trust as much. If an exchange gets your money, this is another thing, right, that I understand. Well, let me finish this point. There's millions and millions of dollars of free money that was given away to people. Pulse was given away for free to every Ethereum holder. A PRC20 copy was given away to every ERC20 holder. There's millions and millions of dollars of free money sitting here. And you idiots on the Ethereum network that aren't smart enough to say thank you for the free money, for some reason, you're also not smart enough to take advantage of all the lower gas costs. So if we look right now at gopulse.com/gas, it's 50,000 times cheaper to use Pulsechain than Bitcoin. 50,000 times. It's 9,000, well, 83.96 currently. Let's call it 8,000 times cheaper to use Pulsechain than to use Ethereum. Pulsechain was designed to help get the Ethereum gas fees down. Well, guys, if you would put a little bit less load on the Ethereum network, it wouldn't cost you $5 to send an ERC20 or $20 to do a swap. It would cost you less than a penny. Right now, it costs less than a penny to do a swap, Pulsechain. It costs, you could do about 5,000 sends for a penny. Check the math though, 0.0002. That's a lot of sends, right? So Pulsechain has operated flawlessly since launch. It was the world's largest free airdrop. There's millions of dollars of free coins there for ERC20 holders. And we're in day 227 of flawless operation. It used to trade at zero and be worth nothing. And now, depending on how many coins you think are circulating, let's look at the market cap. I, in general, hate market cap as a measurement for like anything really. But here it is. The market cap, if you take like the total supply of Pulsechain times the current price per PLS, the market cap of Pulsechain is $9 billion, 8.9 billion. The current market cap of PulseX is 2.5 billion. Incentive token, 12 million. Hex, 6.7 billion just on the Pulsechain network, probably worth about 4 billion on the Ethereum network. That's a lot of billions, guys. So, the idea, this narrative, a lot of people hate me. A lot of people hate the things I've designed, which is really weird because they were all given away for free. Pulsechain was given away for free. PulseX was given away for free. Hex was given away for free. My advice is given away for free. This video is given away for free. You don't even know an address you could send me money at. You don't have any address of mine. Wow, that's a lot of free stuff for a lot of hate. And I didn't even wear any jewelry, just so you little hater guys would have an easier time for Christmas. So you don't have to hate as hard. Still called the top of the day. They want you to feel wrecked. Hexicans, Pulsexicans, Pulsicans, they want you to feel wrecked. The enemies, the scumbags of the world, they want you to feel wrecked, but you're not wrecked. Pulsechain has operated flawlessly since launch 227 days ago. It's not very long ago. Hex has operated for over 4 years perfectly, flawlessly, while so many other things have gone to zero, stopped functioning, went bankrupt over and over and over again. Now, who promoted the bankrupt things? the same scumbags that won't say a good thing about the stuff that I designed. CoinMarketCap advertises crap that goes to zero, advertises crap that gets bankrupted, advertises crap that destroys their users, lists it all over the place, lies about our stuff, lies about the market cap of Pulsechain, lies about the market cap of Hex. You know, everybody just lies about our stuff. Really weird. Like, I guess they hate their users and hate their followers and want them to get wrecked, I guess. Yeah. So, Coinbase didn't list Hex, sued by the SEC. Kraken didn't list Hex, sued by the SEC. Binance didn't list Hex, sued by the SEC. Plus, paying the CFTC $1.5 billion, plus paying the DOJ $4 billion, plus waiting for sentencing after pleading guilty. Hey, wait a second. Hold on. All the guys that said bad things about Richard Hart, Hex, Pulsechain, PulseX, sent their followers to things that went bankrupt, like Celsius, BlockFi, Cred, Gemini Lend, on down the list. While I told you all not to pick up pennies in freight trains, not to pick up pennies in front of freight trains, not to risk your whole stack for 7%, not to do the opposite of why cryptocurrency was invented and take counterparty risk. It just blew my mind. And then these same idiots are doing the same stuff. Oh, and here's another funny thing. Solana, which pumped recently, is being claimed in court by the SEC to be a security in both the Kraken case and the Coinbase case. Pumped anyway. Now, so right now I'm just kind of talking about market things. So 4 years of perfect flawless operation on Hex while everyone else got wrecked. Called the top of the day. Never went over that price. Yay. World's largest free airdrop, worth millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Billions of dollars in market cap all over the place. 4 years of perfect flawless operation in Hex. 227 days of perfect flawless operation in Pulsechain. Yeah, these things are all going very good. Now, oh yeah, and apparently getting called a security doesn't mean you can't pump, because there you go. Solana pumped. Also, what I think is funny, well, a few things about Solana. It used to be down all the time. And now it has a lot of inflation. So apparently the way Solana works is that they inflate it a lot to subsidize the fees to be cheaper, which then, if the guys that are getting inflation ever decide to sell it, is going to suck. So Solana has very high inflation compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has very high inflation compared to Ethereum. And I think Ethereum's inflation is very similar to Pulsechain's, but I'd have to look. There's some website that has like a counter. Because basically in Ethereum and Pulsechain, they both use EIP 1559. And even though Pulsechain has 25% less base inflation, so if the gas usage on both systems was the same, Pulsechain would inflate 25% less. But EIP 1559 introduces burning, and burning increases as a result of what percentage of the block space you're using. So they target 30 million gas, and then the fees get a lot higher if you go over half of that. So they're really targeting 15 million gas of the 30 million max. And Pulsechain inherited a lot of those parameters. So long story short, because the gas fees are so cheap on Pulse, we might not be pushing into that gas demand as hard. So we might not be burning as much. So there's a chance that Pulsechain's inflating a little bit more than Ethereum, but probably, last time I checked, still less than Bitcoin. Yay. We're talking like Bitcoin's at like 1.2% inflation, and like Ethereum's negative 0.18 or something. These are very small percentages. So, but a percentage of a very large market cap is a lot of money. So when you talk about Bitcoin inflating at 1%, 1% of $500 billion is what? What is that? Calc 500 billion times 1.5 over 100. Wow, that's 7.5 billion. That's a lot of money. Wow. Is Bitcoin worth 500 billion? Let's look. Yep, it's 855 billion. Wow. So basically that means that the miners are getting paid billions of dollars a year to dump the price to enrich mining hardware manufacturers and electric companies and harm the environment. Hey, but most of it's renewable. Yeah, but not all of it. So there you go. Still hurting the environment. Pulsechain solved this. Also, Ethereum solved this, right? You don't need to destroy the environment or enrich electricity companies or enrich mining hardware manufacturers to maintain a consensus network. Period. And funny thing about Bitcoin consensus network is it actually sucks. So you guys that like Bitcoin that are watching, screw you guys and screw your bags. I'm going to educate you all. And half you guys sent all of your people to go get yield and things that went bankrupt. Why? Because you can't get yield online. Why? Because Bitcoin sucks. Oh, you want to get into a stable coin? You got on-chain exchange? No. Oh, wrecked. Oh, you want to, have high throughput? I think the throughput is at least 4.5 times higher on Pulsechain than Bitcoin, but also how many times cheaper? Let's look here. Gas. 45,000 times cheaper, but it also has more features. And if you just compare like a network that only does sends on Bitcoin versus another network like Pulsechain and just pretend it was only doing sends, it'd be a lot more than 4.5. That 4.5 number is based on like the average usage, and the average usage is a lot of complicated stuff like swaps and staking and unstaking and all kinds of stuff. And so if you like took the usage of the network and like equalized it with just sending native tokens back and forth, it would be like maybe 30 times. I can't remember. I did this math once before, like a month ago, but it's significantly more than 4.5 times. So Pulsechain versus Bitcoin, better for the environment, lower inflation, better features, more secure, never been hacked, on down the list. Just it's a superior network. Now, what does Bitcoin have? More liquidity. Why? It's been around for 10 times longer. And it hasn't been gatekept by every possible thing, which is fine. So, at some point, someone is going to, I guess there's some people in Australia already doing it, but like the best time to buy Bitcoin was when everyone thought it was a scam. The best time to buy Bitcoin was when it had the lowest liquidity. The best time when you could buy Bitcoin was when it was almost traded on no exchange anywhere. It was nearly impossible to buy. The only place you could buy it was like Mt. Gox, Magic the Gathering online exchange in Japan. That was the best time to buy Bitcoin. Cool. Well, Pulsechain has some of those parameters. It's still very early. This gatekeeping that everyone's doing, it can't get any worse. It can only get better, right? Like the gates can only open. And basically, look, screw these guys, right? Hex went up 10,000 fold before staking profit with the same gatekeeping trash, same garbage. So great. Now the gas fees are even cheaper because Pulsechain exists for everybody, right? Like, congrats, everybody.